Hello and welcome to BAS for Beginners. My name is Amy Candelora and I am here to explore the benchmark assessment system, Kit 1. In this kit, it's really meant for grades K through 2, levels A through N. The reason it's meant for grades through 2 is if the students are on grade level, those are the grades that the students would be in. But of course, you might be using this in upper grades for students who are a little bit behind or you want to learn more about them. So when you take off the top, you'll notice that you have some orange folders. You also have some books that will be behind them, but I took them out because I want to show you them each individually. So the first thing that you should look, make sure that you have all of the folders for levels A through N. Also make sure that you have 2 books for each level. That's a fiction and a nonfiction book. So for example, looking at the level A, I have 2 books, At the Park, which is the nonfiction, and Best Friends, which is the fiction story. Again, these are well-written books. They include either drawings or photographs, and the text is really strong. So if you're looking through your kit, that was a level A, a little bit higher. The level H, nonfiction, is Trucks, and fiction is The Sleepover Party. And then if we go to level N, which is the highest level, we have The Big Snow, which is the fiction, and Exploring Caves, which is the nonfiction text. So again, just kind of look through them. The best thing you can do before administering this BAS is get to know these books. Read them, understand them. Some of them I really enjoy reading. The Big Snow, for example, is a very nice read. And I can make a lot of connections too. But get to know these stories because you will be administering these with your students. But also when the students are answering comprehension questions, you're going to be having a conversation with them. And it's really important that you know the book as well so that you can assess whether they are understanding every part or not understanding. So again, you have 14 fiction and 14 nonfiction books in your box, but you also have some other resources that I'm going to share with you right now. The first being the how-to book. It's called the Assessment Guide. The Assessment Guide, again, this is for the K through 2, for kit number 1. You can see that there. It is the how-to. How do you administer this test? How do you analyze? How do you score? How do you connect it to instruction? How do you document growth? This has so much information about this assessment and how to use it. Again, this is something that I would definitely take a peek at before administering the BAS, but explore it. It's a huge resource. It also does have additional forums and additional management kind of systems like spreadsheets where you can put your kids' information for your entire class. Things like that in here. So again, this is a nice resource to look at. The next is my favorite. This is the Assessment Forms book. Again, this is going to be the book that you take to the copy machine. So each book will have a form with you. This is for a level C, shopping, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 different pages. You'll be learning more about these forms in the next module, but every time you administer, you need these forms handy. Again, I always recommend double spacing and having these on hand. Many people copy them and put them right in the folders so that they can have them readily available. But each form can be found in the assessment forms. You can also download them off the internet these days too. But you can get a clean copy right in the first part of the story. It also has the summary form, and the summary form is on page 143, and you'll use this as a cover sheet for each time you give a BAS assessment. So this, you can document the first book, the second book, the third book, some notes about what you saw as a reader. This is an important form to have. And you find it on page 143 in this book. In addition, all these little tabs are additional resources. So oftentimes we have, say, a first grader, and we know that they're reading on a level F, but they're not making much growth. Well, this book has additional assessments to learn more about them. So for example, you could do a reading survey, that's in this book, and find out what books they're interested in, or what books they like to read, or what they don't like to read. That's always fun. Also, you can find out additional assessments for phonological and phonemus. For example, the letter ID test. There's forms in here for that. There's also different phonics tests, like a blending and segmenting to see if they're having trouble with that, or high frequency words. And again, it has it for all different levels. So for grades, the younger grades might use the first level, upper grades might use the last level. And today we need to find a lot about if students are understanding the vocabulary in our books. So they have a large section of vocabulary assessment. So for example, this one is just looking at synonyms, if students compare words that are similar. So again, this is a huge resource. Not only does it have all of the forms that you need to administer the BAS, it has a summary form and tons of additional assessments that in K through 2 grades are necessary. In addition to this one has the directions and the forms for the assessments, but this has what you would put in front of a student. For example, if you were doing sight words, here's the level 3 sight word test, and students could actually touch this one. They could circle it with a dry erase because it is laminated. So this student forms has leveled word list, letter recognition, high frequency words, phonogram word list, vowel cluster word list, and word feature list. So great resource if you're looking to find more information about your student or even do a case study on the student. And last but never least, we have the continuum. So this is the continuum K through 2 that you would find in your benchmark assessment kit number 1. This has so many different things to bridge the assessment to your instruction. It'll talk about what you should be teaching your student at each level, what are some goals, what are some things that your student needs to understand before becoming a stronger reader and writer for the next level. This book is, I believe, 2017? 2011, I was way off. 2011, but in 2017, they came out with a much easier book. Many schools have purchased this. This is a continuum for all levels, so A through Z. You'll see another video of me talking about this book because this is a very important book when bridging, using the BAS for instruction. And plus, if you are stuck with a student who's just not making growth, this book has all of the answers and tells you what you need to do. So again, these are all of the books. This one does not come in the kit, by the way. These are all of the books, hi Pilster, that you will find in BAS Kit 1, as well as the 14 fiction and 14 nonfiction books. I hope this helped, and I know that you're very excited to get back into your classroom so that you can explore your kit yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.